Well, it's my least favorite thing to happen this time of year. I like it, and I think most people do. It's like when you get snowfall and you have this beautiful snow and it says 20 degrees, and then it would just be nice if it stayed like that all winter long, but we don't always get that luxury. So tomorrow it's gonna rain, which means all of this gravel is gonna get nice and soft. All the snow is gonna melt, and I'm gonna get a late start out in the sawmill shed. We are up on the workshop timber frame. So some of you watching this series of videos haven't seen much of the workshop timber frame. Here it is. We were up there working on the roof, and there's a whole series coming on this frame. There's the oak ceiling boards up there. That's right up in there. And that looks pretty sweet, all the 1x oak. Here's some of it right here. We milled that. I think I can link to a video where we're milling some of that. But this is the oak cedar board. Oak ceiling board. 1x, surfaced on 2 sides. It looks pretty sweet up there. And we're cutting timbers for the welcoming frame, and we have those footings in right there. So we put those footings in earlier in the fall before we started getting frost, and wow, that's all I've got cut so far. So we've got a lot of milling to do down in the log yard, but you can kind of get an idea from this video. Workshop right behind me. Gardens right over there, a couple of frames. There's the little pergola that we just finished, the north house frame, the cruck frame. Excuse me. And walking down to the log yard. Supposed to rain all day tomorrow. That's okay. We've got some inside work. We're going to start working on the brackets. And I'm gonna try to get a log loaded up on the deck, and maybe even one slice off of it yet in this one. But in that pile of ash, that's the last one I did, that was from there. I've got this guy right here, down in the bottom. I'll be able to get a 10x12, and I'm thinking that's gonna be a king post, that one. So I gotta move these couple, pull it out. I think it's almost 10 feet. So same thing again, where I'll cut 3.5 feet off, like I did, 3.5 feet off, get that 6 foot at least for a king post. And here's some of that 1x1.5, I should say, 6/4 that's kind of stacked up here, all ready to head over to the drying area. Gosh, that was almost a tour of the log yard. I should do an official tour of the log yard someday. But anyways, we're gonna grab that log and get it on the sawmill deck and see if we can get at least one slice off of it before we lose our daylight. Even though we're on the other side of winter solstice, we're picking up, what, 2 minutes a day right now? So not very much. So happy, sneeze coming. Excuse me. So decided to go with 6 foot, 6.5 foot to get the king post out of it. Probably could have tweaked 9.5 foot post 10 by 10 out of it, but I know I did harvest this tree on site right over there by the lath house, so it's kind of a cool tree. And that top part has 4 branches coming out of it, 3 branches, so the figure in there is going to be really cool. The sapwood is really white on the outside, and the core inside is really nice and dark. Not an olive ash, but pretty cool. So I was thinking that would be kind of fun to turn into 6/4 and use around here someday. But we'll pick this up tomorrow and we'll see how much rain we have. Until then. Well, here we are on the next day. Yeah, 40 degrees, actually 39 degrees, and rainy. Not heavy, just a drizzle, but snow is melting. It's kind of what I figured. It would not be all that much fun. Compared to 2 years ago in the sawmill shed, you know, this place is amazing, but it's far from where I want it to be. In a perfect world, I'd have concrete in here, and it'd be easy to clean, and I wouldn't have any water. But how much is a 6-inch pour of 30 by 40 concrete? I will have to sell a lot of charcuterie boards to pay for that concrete. So it's probably not coming this year. A little bit of water that flows through here. It's the drainage. It's why I try to keep this clean. We have 2 more days of 40 degrees, and it's not till maybe even next year. That's a joke. Next week that we get back below freezing. So I will need to get all of this wet sawdust cleaned up into a level grade. So whatever's wet when it gets cold again is going to be in place here. But that's enough about this whole place here. Let's look at this log. That's why we're actually doing this. 6.5 feet, that's what I've got on the deck right now. I took a couple slices. I'm going to go 10 inches and then 12, so I'm going to get a 10 by 12 log out of this, and we'll get a nice king post. I'm going to stop here, rotate, take another slice, and get it down to it's close to 10 inches, and then I'll see if I want to like take a little bit more off this side. It possibly, because I'm at 10.5 inches right here, and for this king post, if I have a little wane in there, sapwood, not going to be a big deal on that. So, but I think I want to flip it, start getting it to size on the 12 inch, and then I can figure out where the 10 inch is going to be. So we're going to start pounding this one out. Well, we got it. A nice 10 by 12 on that one. 6.5 feet long, so we have our second king post, and that completes the king post. We need one more strut. That's the 6 by 8, and then 7 more knee braces, and that's all the small components. So from here on out, I mean, we'll get those little ones, I'll find something, but we got to start going to the bigs now. So the next, I'll probably do posts. The posts are 10 by 10, 10 feet long, and then we get into the 14 footers and the 17 footers, and then we get into the 24 footers. So they're gonna get heavy to turn. So I got to get this cleaned up and a little bit more cleaned up over here so we can use the hydraulic assist on the sawmill. Yeah, that's the skid loader. That'll do it for this one. I appreciate you following along and watching the series. I appreciate you following along and watching the series, but that'll do it for this one. Glenn here, Workshop at the Gardens. Cheers.